What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Justice Falls. Back at again with another video, and this is like the third video I did today, so that's why I got the same stuff on. All RE today. Like I played the Maiden demo, and I tried to play the RE8 demo, but that didn't quite work out. You guys will see on Saturday why that didn't work out and why I'm saying Saturday. But yeah, this time we're gonna be looking at the Oculus gaming showcase, specifically the RE4 for Oculus Quest portion of it. I think it was like 10 minutes, but we'll see how much it is. But yeah, before we get started, you already know, website www.justicefalls.com. It has all my latest and greatest content, my covers, gaming news, my music, things of that nature. So you could check that out on there. And without further ado, let's get to the video. Alright, so here we go. Oculus Gaming Showcase.
As I mentioned earlier, if you weren't tuned into Capcom's Resident Evil 25th
preggers.
Anniversary showcase last week, here's the scoop. We're bringing
that's not rude.
Resident
Apparently
Evil
that's
4
rude
to
nowadays.
Quest 2 later this
tell
year.
that a woman's pregnant.
Resident Evil 4 originally debuted in 2005 on GameCube, and in the 16 years since launch, it's continued to inspire games, movies, and the survival horror genre.
Facts.
Now, the content of the game's not going to change. We wouldn't mess with such a winning formula. But we
Smart.
also don't consider this a traditional port.
Put the Arizona on deck.
My colleagues at Oculus Studios are working closely with Armature and Capcom to rework the entire game for VR.
Ew, I just said hand. That's like not even
is being enhanced and remastered to feel fresh and exciting to OGs and to new fans alike, by ratcheting up the suspense as only VR can.
This is not RE music, but I like it.
The
It's
most
upbeat.
obvious differences between playing RE4 in VR and on console is the shift in perspective and interactivity.
Okay, she
Only
pulled
on
up on the
Quest
joint
2
on the communication.
will you be able to play
Jump on.
RE4 from Leon's first-person perspective. And the touch controllers will allow you to interact with the world in a fundamentally new way from
You get the HUD on your wrist. That's
how
fine.
it's played on console. For example, items and weapons have been re-engineered to become physical objects that players can interact with, so that you can pick up things like ammo, keys, and treasures, as well as load, aim, and fire weapons in VR. You'll also be able to switch weapons by grabbing them off your body instead of going into a menu. And you can wield separate weapons with each hand. Even RE4's famous menu is no longer a pause screen. It's an interactive tool. A ton of effort has gone into making weapon interactions smooth, satisfying, and responsive, including two-handed weapons like shotguns and rifles. Let's talk about the movement system now. We didn't want the shift from third to first person to change the fundamental way Leon moves or collides with the world. You'll still move in first person by using the analog stick, but Armature has added a full upper body rig on top of Leon's character to combine his movement with the dual-handed interactivity achieved with touch controllers. If you don't want to use the analog stick to move freely, Armature even added support for teleportation, as well as room scale movement, so that you can explore the environment with natural motion. And of course, one of our top priorities is to ensure the experience is comfortably played while seated, and with a ton of comfort options at your disposal to try out.
But if you have VR, who
RE4 debuted on
if you have VR, who would do it seated? Like the goal of VR is so you can be immersed in the world. I understand it's like if you have a disability or if you're pregnant, things of that nature. But if you're an able-bodied person, why would you? I never understood that. Why would you sit down and do it unless it's like okay, you're sitting down, you're watching a movie with your homies, or you're doing some type of like roller coaster type game or some type of on rails game where you don't really have to move, you just have to look around. But I don't get why people sit down. If you're able-bodied, why would you sit down and play? But I guess you gotta have the option in there for people who aren't able-bodied. That's dope. But I'm talking to you able-bodied people. that do that. That's kind of weird to me.
GameCube 16 years ago. So you might be wondering, how in the world are we bringing the core systems from the original over to Quest 2? Well, first, it takes passion. The teams at Oculus Studios, Armature, and Capcom
I'm feeling his music,
are all longtime fans of the game who are accepting only the best results. And it takes time. We've been working on this title for a couple years now, and just carefully and reverently making changes that will make your experience feel both fresh and nostalgic.
Catching chord progressions
Technically
and stuff
speaking,
and melodies.
Armature is using core systems from the original RE4 to drive gameplay and systems, but they've remastered art. Over 4,500 textures have either been repainted or up-resed. World geometry has been adjusted to work in stereoscopic 3D. And enemy behaviors and attacks have been balanced around the player's new perspective to increase mobility in VR. They've also improved support for running the game at a higher frame rate than the original 30 frames per second, and fixed many bugs that the 60 FPS versions of the game had. Now, while
that's tough. It looks like they kind of, I don't want to say they rebuilt the game from the ground up, but it kind of looks like they rebuilt the game from the ground up for the Oculus. And then they up-res the frame rate. No, they raised the frame rate. I'm not sure what the resolution. The resolution kind of looks the same, but I'm pretty sure it's a little better because the Oculus does have, the Oculus 2 is capable of, I think 720 or something like that. I forgot. Somebody correct me in the comments.
Armature has adjusted a number of things for VR. Some things just haven't needed to change. Character animations have been faithfully converted to Unreal Engine 4 and remain untouched from the original source material. And all cutscenes will be presented in their original format. If you're a fan of the survival horror genre like me, you've likely played, or tried to play, a lot of scary games in VR. Now, RE4 isn't known for being the scariest in the Resident Evil franchise, but it is scarier and more suspenseful in VR thanks to spatial audio and immersive interactivity. Armature has manipulated aspects of the original RE4 audio data and have used it instead as 3D spatial sound. So when you hear noises like crows, voices, and creaks, you're going to want to turn your head to see if there's a threat. They've also made sure that audio telegraphs from enemies to indicate which direction they're attacking from. So where on console you might have heard a Ganado approaching and rather calmly press buttons to reload and prepare a takedown, in VR, you're checking your ammo, you're scrambling to load a mag. And if you drop it, you're only adding to the stress and suspense of the situation by needing to physically correct your mistakes. You'll be living in the...
No, that's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be great screaming. That's gonna be great streaming content. I'm already thought of like 10 people in my head that that's a part of the VR community that stream VR games. That's gonna have a ball with that. Like, let's say some granadas or Los Plagas or whatever is attacking you. You're trying to run, load your gun. You drop the shell. You got to bend over, get it, turn around, load it up, shoot them. That's going to be fun. That is going to be fun. Like, even playing it myself, because I watch a lot of streamers, but I also stream myself, twitch.tv / JusticeXFalls. It's going to be a blast watching people do that and watching people play, like dropping the gun or dropping the shells and trying to fight off enemies. That's going to be cool. I can't wait for that.
The moment, carefully tracking ammo and inventory, relying on your senses for success more than you've ever done before. I'll leave you with this. A huge...
Yeah, because before it was more hand-eye coordination. Now with the advent of VR, it's more so all of your senses because you're in a virtual world. Only thing you can't do is smell and taste, you know, but you don't use your smell and your taste when you're playing video games. It's your sight, your hearing, you know, and then your ability to touch and your ability to move. So that's gonna be fire.
A huge part of the RE4 fame was the elaborate cinematics that sell and tell the story. But once you come out of a cinematic in VR and find yourself face to face with the boss, the experience is totally different.
Los plagas en el quest 2. Los plagas en el
I could
quest
talk
2.
for a lot longer about this game.
I don't speak Spanish. I don't even know if I said that right.
Because there is more to share today. But stay tuned for more Resident Evil 4 updates in the lead up to its launch on Quest 2 later this year. All right, now I'd like to share with you updates on 2 of my favorite titles, because who doesn't love Star Wars?
Okay, she's talking about Star Wars, man. I'm gonna watch that after, actually, because it's a Star Wars game on the Oculus that I don't have. I think like Galaxy from the Past or something like that, and they said it's as good as Vader Immortal, which if you have the Oculus, you know how good that series is. But anyway, back to RE. Yeah, I'm really digging the mechanics they've introduced. You know, the spatial audio. When you're at the typewriter machine, you can type in your what's the name, your name for the save file. I'm liking the different movement traversal, the traversal options that you have. You know, it looks like they really took their time, like the menu, the extensive menu that they have here. It really looks like they took their time, and I think they rebuilt this game from the ground up. I really think that they did. So I'm excited to play this game. Hopefully more RE games come to the system in this form. I think this is like the first test to see how it works, how it sells, and then we'll see more RE games, because I'd love to play like RE6 or RE5 or even the old one, RE2 and 3 on there too, or maybe some of this side games, some of the knockoff, or maybe an original RE game for the Quest, built from the ground up for the Quest. You know, I think that's what we'll have in the future on the Quest 3 or 4 or whatever. We'll have them in the Facebook keep making. No, Mark Zuckerberg, he gonna keep making them, because I think it's the best consumer level VR on the market, because you have the Valve Index, which is probably the best thing on the market, but nobody has all of that space to put up the cameras, the sensors, and to spend, and nobody has really all that money, especially during this pandemic, like thousands of dollars. Some of us do, but even then, I decided to buy the Quest. I have the Quest 1 and the Quest 2. Like I like to stretch my dollar. So if I see one item for $1,000, I'm gonna find a cheaper version of that, and I'm gonna buy other stuff with it, so I could maximize my dollar. That's why I have everything I have now, because I maximize every dollar that I earn. But that's enough of a history lesson. RE4 is gonna be fire on the Quest. I'm buying it first day, and I'm gonna figure out how to stream. I don't know how to stream through the VR. If y'all know, y'all can comment, or y'all can link me to some videos. I watched that the guy with the bald head who does the VR videos. He probably got something on it. I'll check him out. But yeah, let me know. You guys already know the vibes though. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. This is your boy Justice Falls, and we out. One.